I have been retired for a little over 7 months now, so I thought I would give a little update. And, I should get this out of the way. I'm not a counselor, I'm not a professional psychiatrist or anything like that. This is just kind of my experiences as a 59-year-old woman, and I just like to share them with you more like you might talk to a friend. When I first retired, I did feel out of sorts. And when I talk about feeling out of sorts, I'm talking about the kind of feeling out of sorts that comes with change. I was pretty much prepared for that. I had prepared myself for it, and I gave myself some leeway when I was feeling that way. And I think if you're feeling that way, give yourself some grace, cut yourself some slack. Know that it's going to take a while, and that's okay. That feeling is a good feeling. It's a feeling of change and something different, and that always makes us a little bit afraid. So I gave myself some time to feel those feelings, and I think it's perfectly natural. Something that I didn't expect, but that I experienced, and I'm very curious to hear your experiences too. This is coming just from my experience, and I think that everyone experiences retirement differently. So if you have something that you would like to add, please do below. I think it's so valuable. But what I felt was almost this vague sense that I was getting away with something or that I was doing something wrong. And it took a while for me to kind of identify it. But, I going to shopping during the day, I felt like I was playing hooky. It was the strangest thing. So I had to stop and consciously give myself permission to do what I wanted to do. And I think that that's really interesting. And if you're feeling that way, maybe give yourself permission. Giving yourself permission to do what you want. I didn't think that would be a thing, but it was for me. Boredom was not my problem when I retired. If anything, it was the other way around. For one thing, I just jumped right in, and I didn't plan this, but I had already started this YouTube channel before I retired, so I had that, and I could just kind of throw myself into that. I had also, in my job, worked with a lot of creek groups and the Resource Conservation District, our local RCD or Resource Conservation District. And I just jumped right into volunteering for those organizations as well, right, when I retired. Like I say, I didn't really plan it, but I didn't do the give yourself 6 months or some extended period of time. And if you have thoughts on that, or maybe you did that, please again share below. That I think retirement is such an individual experience, but I think by sharing it can really help, yourself and others along the way. My issue was so many possibilities. Oh my gosh, all these things that I wanted to do. Okay, I had my YouTube channel, I had my volunteer work. I always wanted to learn about aromatherapy. I signed up for that. I wanted to learn all about plants and medicinal properties of plants and those kinds of things. And I just was kind of all over the place. Coupled with this, I didn't really want to put myself on a schedule right at first. So, I found myself at 11 o'clock still drinking coffee in my pajamas, and I hadn't even showered yet. So this year, the beginning of 2023, I've kind of decided, I'm going to put myself on a loose schedule. It's not very rigid. The way I'm going to try it is, these are my appointments that I have, obviously, and these are the things I would like to accomplish this week. And if there's any deadlines, I'm putting it on the calendar. So it's not rigid, it's not hour by hour, it's somewhat day by day, but also even a little more flexible than that. And I'm gonna try that because I found that not having a schedule, days were going by and I wasn't even feeling it. So that was a very interesting feeling too. Another thing I'm really enjoying is having some time to do self-care, and I'm putting that in little quotes because I just keep hearing that term a lot now, so it's kind of a buzzword. And by self-care, I don't mean brushing and flossing. I always did that, obviously, but just having a little time to go a little extra and do things that I really should have been doing for years. Things like putting my feet up. I have some vascular problems, so I really should be putting my feet up a couple times a day. When I was sitting at work, I should have gotten up and been walking every day, and I almost never made the time to do it. And it's just maintenance of your body. And I don't want to fall into that trap or put out there that just because you're older, oh, now your body doesn't work and now you can't do this or now you can't do that. You just have to take care of yourself a little bit more, maybe. You can't just, throw your body into all kinds of positions and stresses every day and recover as quickly as when you were younger. You just have to take that into account and take a little bit better care of yourself. And one thing that did not happen was that I did not become the housewife goddess I thought I was going to become. I thought that when I retired, I was just going to become this, goddess of the home and dust my baseboards and, clean out the refrigerator filters and all of those kinds of things. And that didn't work out that way. In fact, my poor husband, I have cooked less since I've been retired than before. So that's part of my little schedule. I am going to, get my housework on. I mean, we keep a clean house. It's not that I haven't done any housework, but I just didn't embrace that like I really thought I was going to. So that's part of my schedule, and also cooking more regularly again. But now I want to try a new recipe a week because I got very into my groove of, I always make sure there was a lean protein, a good vegetable, a healthy starch, and some healthy fats. And that was it, not so much for the beauty of a meal, which I'm hoping that we will stop and enjoy. Something really important that occurred, and it took me by surprise, and it shouldn't have, is when you retire, particularly if your spouse is retired, all of a sudden you're in the house 24 hours a day together. That's been an adjustment. I love my husband. We have a great relationship and we have a ton of fun together. But he had the house to himself for 5 years, pretty much, 50 plus hours a week. And then all of a sudden, here I am 24/7. And for example, I'll just use this as an example. He likes to watch TV during the day and even have it on if he's working in his office. He likes the TV on as background. I am not that person. I like it quiet during the day. I don't really like to watch TV very much during the day. And apparently I think nobody else should watch TV during the day either. So I immediately jumped in and started micromanaging my husband about his TV watching. And now, in my defense, I have the right to have it quiet during the day sometimes in the house. And by the same token, he has the right to watch TV during the day sometimes if he wants to. So we've had discussions, we've talked about it, and we're working it out. But it really brought to my attention that, be it your spouse or maybe you have parents living with you or whatever the situation, if suddenly more people are cohabitating in the same space for more hours a day, that's an adjustment. All in all, it has been so wonderful. I do miss my coworkers, but to be free, I'm really embracing it. I'm really trying to ask myself what's important to me. I think it's amazing. And it's a time for giving too, which is something that I want to do. I mean, we've accumulated this knowledge and this experience in life, and how do we want to grow that for something from ourselves? Because really, I didn't retire. I stopped working for someone else. And I loved working for someone else for a very long time, but it was time for me to work or create from myself. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm super grateful I have the opportunity to do it. And thank you for watching. And if you have things you would like to talk about, your retirement journeys, or maybe things you're thinking about, maybe you haven't retired yet, please feel free to share below. I think it's such an exciting time in life, and I'm really enjoying it.